Hello, hi, and welcome to today's Unity tutorial. We will add something that almost every game has, a main menu for switching between levels, for exiting the application actually. So let's get this started. Yes. To create that main menu, we will need to add a new scene. So for organization, I'm putting mine in the folder screens, right mouse button, create a new scene. I will call that main_menu. Hit enter, open it up. And very important, when you open it up, if you want it in the final game, you have to go on File, Build Settings, and there, whoops, I have that in there for testing purposes. In there, you have to add that scene to your final game, to your build. Very important. Don't forget that, you will get error codes if you do forget about it. So in the main menu, what we want to do is have just a two-dimensional, nice little canvas panel. So they are called panels that we want to create right now. So right mouse button in the hierarchy, UI and panel. And then you will see we've got this nice little thing. So right now it makes sense to switch into two-dimensional mode. Just hit number 2 and you will switch to two-dimensional mode, or click that little icon up on top here. And then hit F, and when you have the panel selected, and that is now the whole screen. So I also usually rename that panel here and we'll call it whole screen, because that is the full-sized screen that we want to use. And the panel is a sub-distribution, so if we just use the whole screen, I would call that whole screen. Important here, this is two-dimensional. What screen size does it align to? If you have a lower resolution, is it cropped off or something? We have to set that on the canvas. Right? We have automatically created a canvas when creating the panel, and in there we don't want constant pixel size. Constant pixel size means, hey, you have a set amount of pixels always. No, we want to do something called scale with the screen size. Right? And let's make it 1920 times 1080, which is the most common resolution nowadays. And now everything you create in that panel will be always exactly the same on every screen. So it will try to use that resolution. If the screen has a different size, it will squeeze the screen into that other size. Everything will always be on the screen. It might be for very strange resolutions that it's squeezed a bit strangely, that it's somehow unscaled. But it will always be everything on screen. So that's the best way. No, that's one way. Of course, the others are legit as well. So the first thing we want on the whole screen panel. So I want a nice heading. I want my game name on there. So right click on it, add a text. You see that text is pretty small, but let's bring that up. Right, let's bring that up a little bit, bring it there. Let's use the rect tool to make it bigger. And if you grab one corner and hit Alt, you will see it's actually grabbing all the corners. It's sizing it everywhere. Now with the text, what do I want? Center it both ways. Let's increase the font size. Let's give it a nice name. Bouncy, jumpy, sticky. I don't know, give your game a name. Mine is called Bouncy Jumpy Sticky right now. Okay, that is the headline. We can give it another font and stuff. Won't do that right now. That's enough. So now also on the whole screen, right mouse button, we want another panel. So UI, another panel. And that should not be the full screen. So grab one corner, hit Alt, and you see it scales down. Maybe put it something like this. Push it down a little bit. When you grab it and then you hold Shift, you can see I can only go left and right now. If I go up and down a little bit and then hold Shift, whoops, you can see I will only go up and down. So I want to push mine a little bit lower, something like here. And this is where all the level selection stuff should go. The buttons, a quit button, level select 1, level select 2, and so on and so on. Let's make the background not visible anymore. Click on the background and not visible, so we don't need to see it. We have the buttons to orient. Right. There we will rename that panel into buttons. Okay, let's make 3 buttons. How about it? 3 buttons, because we have quit, we have level 1, level 2. Right mouse button, UI, and they are so-called buttons. Let's create 1 button that's there. I don't want it sitting in the center, so click here on the center. Hit Alt and then select top left. Then it's bound inside the panel to the top left. So it orients right inside the panel. That's good, right? It goes top left and then it just sits there. That's good. Now this button should be level 1. Right? And level 1 should also have a different text. So click on the text and say level 1. There we go. Now the next thing, click on the button, duplicate, Control D, level 2, level 2, done. I want to go a little bit down with this, so I can click on it, hold Shift, right, when going up and down, and maybe a little bit down here. That's okay. You could also press W and then just do the standard thing, right? This, something like this. I want one more button, so right click on buttons, UI, button, and that should be where the buttons go there. And that should be my exit button, so I will call it, or quit, let's call it quit, or close, whatever. Close is probably the most used word, close. And then on the text also that should be close. And this one should be on the bottom right. So click on the transform, hit Alt, and put it on the bottom right. You see those little arrows right now? This is the navigation. If you hit Tab, you're navigating between buttons. That's pretty standard. If you don't want that, just click None, and then you won't have navigation anymore. You have to do that for every single button individually, or select multiple and then click None. Doesn't really matter. So, of course, this is not pretty. We only have limited time. So, you could make it prettier by using other icons and stuff. Won't show it right now. So, on this right now, the buttons should also do something. They don't do anything right now. To make them do something, they have to access scripts, right? Therefore, we have to make a global script. So on the buttons, so all buttons will access that one script. Add a component. This component I will call main menu. Hit enter, and that is now our main menu script. So let's open it up. There we go. That is our main menu script. We don't need the update. We don't need the start. Nope, not necessary. What we need is two functions that should be accessible by the buttons. The first one is public void, because it doesn't give you a value back, close application or close game. This one does not have any input, and what it simply does, it does the following: application.quit. Open closing brackets because it's a function. There we go. The button close will access this script. Let's try if that works. I'm going to our game here. Then on the buttons, right, we want the close button here, and the close button itself has, if you scroll down a little bit, an on-click listener. On-click listener, click on the plus to add an event. What do you want to add? From my, where did I put it? Whole screen or buttons? From my buttons. From my buttons, just drag and drop buttons in there. That's the object. Which function do you want to access? We have just created the main menu function. Which class do you want to access? The main menu. Which function that we wrote? Close game. So you press that button. This function will be called. Done. Right. It won't work in the editor, so don't try the close application, because that is one of the few functions that doesn't work when testing the game. You would have to export it, you would have to run the whole game to really close the application. So the others will work. So we will also need another function here, a public void start level with a level name. So with a string level name. And that one is again the scene management. So we will have the Unity Engine.scene management, the one that we used last time already, and then the scene manager.load scene, and then the level name, and done. That's it. Now the two buttons should be able to access this function. So let's see. Where did I just put the button? Whoops, where did it go? There. Whoops, no, back there. Sorry, I just dragged and dropped it by accident. So let's go to level 1. When level 1, then on-click event for the first button. Let's take the buttons in there. Let's go with the main menu function, and then there should be load level, start level, start level. And now start level needs an input here. That is because we need the level name. So scenes, what was the name of the level? Level underscore 0. And now it's important that you have your namings correct. Level underscore 0 underscore 01. Done. Level 2. The same on click event. It takes the buttons, boink, which function, main menu, start level, level underscore 0 underscore 02. In my case, your levels could be named differently. And that is pretty much it. So if I hit start now, you will see if I hit level 1, you will see, we're loading level 1. The problem is I cannot go back. So just very quick to go back. When we hit the escape button in the game, we want to go back, right? So that's pretty simple. Let's just adapt the stuff that we already have. And that is in our, let's go to a level. We have the game controller, and the game controller has win-lose conditions. Let's add to the game controller, because it's a prefab, we can do that here. On this prefab, or let's open the prefab by clicking on this button here. Add a new script, and that is game controls. Right. Hit enter, hit enter. Now with the game controls script, I'm opening this up. Now we simply want to evaluate if we hit the escape button, we want to load the main menu. So if input dot, nothing new here. Now get key. And key code is escape. Then we want to scene management. So nothing new here, just a bit of repetition. Scene management with the scene manager dot load scene, and we need the name, which is main underscore menu. Done. Right, so I save. I can now push this to the side, and let's see if everything works fine. Everything should work fine, I hope. Didn't test the last part, but it should work. Let's click here. If I hit escape, we're loading the main menu. If I go to level 2, I hit escape, we're going to the main menu because we have the prefab. If I click on close, nothing happens, as I said, because the game is running only in the editor. In the real game would close now. The last thing that we want is when we start the game later on, we always want to start in the main menu. So we need to set that in the build settings. So file, build settings. The one that is here on top is the first one that's being loaded when you are running the final game. So we want the main menu there, so just drag and drop it. And that is one reason why I don't like to work with those indexes, because you see, they can change if you drag and drop that around. And the names, if you have set them, they won't change. Okay, so now if you play the game, you have a start menu that should be working just fine. There's still lots to come. There's still lots and lots to come, but I think we're making great progress. This is basically, we can run the game. So we will, of course, do some more adjustments, some more enhancements to everything. So if you've got any comments, if you've got anything you need to talk about, if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, leave everything here. But also stay safe out there, stay healthy, enjoy your time, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for joining, and bye-bye. Bye.